Hello, welcome back. We are going to be doing a little bit of a meet the pack video, this time starting with Ash from Wild Paws. So this is Ash. He is a 3-year-old entire male adult wolf grey, and he is from Sweden, so he's a Swedish boy. Ash was imported during COVID in 2020, which was not planned, but just how things worked out. So we'd planned to add another grey male to our pack before COVID hit, and then Ash was born and COVID hit, so we had to go ahead. We wanted to go ahead, and so Ash came over to the UK in the summer of 2020, which wasn't ideal for socialisation because no one was out and about. But nonetheless, Ash took to it like a duck to water, and he's now a very stable and regular part of our meet and greet pack when we go out and do educational work. Just want to point out that sunset, by the way. Isn't that glorious? Back to the dog, also glorious. Right. So I thought we'd do it a little meet the pack, start with Ash, give you some facts and figures about Ash, probably be quite short, but it would be nice to sort of know who's who and how they fit in. So Ash is a fully health tested dog, part of our lupine dog program. He has his hips have been x-rayed and scored by the BVA. His elbows have been x-rayed and scored by the BVA. His eyes have been tested by a BVA ophthalmologist and found to be clear so far. He's going to have another one of those this year. They have one every 12 months or so. And he's been genetically screened for all the things that might affect, hereditary genetic things that might affect lupine dogs. So that includes degenerative myelopathy, it includes pituitary dwarfism, it includes hereditary cataracts, and it includes a number of other things that are relevant to the breeds that are in his foundation stock. So what breeds are in Ash's foundation stock? They are Malamute, as you can probably tell. They are Wolf, from his ancestral wolf lines, go back to Russia and North America. And there is some Czechoslovakian Wolfdog in his ancestry too. So his father's line is from North America, and his mother's line is part Russian and part European. So Ash brings together a lot of genetic diversity. He himself has a coefficient of inbreeding of around 2%, so that's very low for dogs in general. And also he carries the blue Wolfdog D3 gene from his American side of his ancestry, so he's quite unique. He also is a really large boy. I don't know if it's really showing you the size of Ash in this video, but he is 32 3/4 inches from the floor to the top of his shoulder blades. And he has a very large skull. As you can see, the skull is very large in proportion to the body. He also has a weight of about 55 to 58 kilos, and that's because he's a very large boned dog, so his bones are very heavy, as well as being quite a large dog. I don't know if you can see his feet, but those feet are much bigger than my hands. I'll show you if he settles down. What else can we tell you about Ash? So he was, like I mentioned before, he has been health tested. Surprisingly, very, very good scores for such a large dog. So his hips were BVA scored as a total of 4, and that worked out at 2 points on the left hip and 2 points on the right hip. So that's extremely mild signs of dysplasia, and that basically means that he's extremely unlikely to go on to develop hip dysplasia that causes him any problems as he matures. That's in older age. His elbows are 0 on the left and 0 on the right, so they are perfect, and his eyes obviously tested clear. That was back in 2022, and he's due another eye test at the end of this month, 2023. Now, Ash is actually a really easy dog to work with. He's easy to train, and the reason being is because he's super food motivated. So Ash, having that sled dog ancestry of Malamute and Husky, means that he is often very willing to work for a treat or work for a meal. So we do a lot of training with Ash. He likes to learn because he likes to eat. Mind you, it does take quite a bit of fuel to sustain a large dog of this size. So what does Ash eat? Well, Ash is on a raw diet, and he is on 80% muscle meat, 10% offal, 10% bone, and Ash eats about 1.5 to 2 kilos of raw meat per day. So that's actually quite a lot, and it's quite expensive to keep him, to be honest. At the moment, meat prices going up and up. That means that keeping a large breed dog like this, keeping him healthy and feeding him well, is going to be quite an expensive venture for the average dog owner. Now, Ash can eat kibble, and has. When we go away, we'll often take kibble with us, especially if we're on the road, so that we're not having to store frozen meat.